Hello, this is Kelly. Welcome to our third installment of our Texas Organic Garden. This one is for the fall, October 2nd, 2016. And what I've been working on is something you didn't see last summer. We've had the sweet potato vine here as a perennial for a couple of years, but in fact, I've been training it this summer along with some moonflowers that I planted in pots to grow up the crepe myrtle tree. And so, as you actually see, there's one blooming right now in the early evening. We also have a pot full of mustard greens like we had last year. And in rotation below, you can see some peppers and tomatoes. Over here, usually we've been growing kale and strawberries and other things over here. We've finally started to try beans this year in a rotation. These are the purple TP beans from the Netherlands. They're cream and purple striped, and they always do a good job with us, along with the artichokes. Been here for 3 years. Go ahead and follow me. This bed here, this is the one that keeps causing a lot of trouble. It's just so overgrown, but I got a fig tree to put in here, and we have collard greens that are still productive after 3 years. I've also trained blackberry vines across the fence, as you see around here. So hopefully the next video, it will be in a much better condition. Go ahead and follow me over here. And I also have raspberry and blackberry vine growing across here, as well as the morning glory. Here we have okra that has been very good this summer, and you'll see we have several Texas varieties. Here's a crimson variety, and you'll notice that when we cut the okra itself to eat, we also cut a stem higher than what the okra was, or right next to it. That helps with the growth. And wow, here's a monster okra over here. So yeah, you'll see, wow, very big one. We've been getting several a day from these okra. Go ahead and follow me. So here we are at the Goya, the bitter melon that maybe the last time you saw it wasn't so overgrown. It really likes the Texas heat, we've discovered, and we've been having lots of good growth here this summer. And here, let me show you something. We have, this is a regular Goya that you cut in when it's still green, and it's quite bitter. One of the most bitter things you'll eat probably in the vegetable kingdom, but very healthy. People in Okinawa are some of the oldest living on earth, and they eat this 3 meals a day, so maybe there's a connection. Sometimes though, we find the the Goya is overripe, and it's yellow. But as you see, it has red seeds inside. Usually they're white, and these seeds for some reason have a gelatinous sweet taste, and maybe for birds to eat and to propagate the seeds. But you can still use the yellow Goya, but it's just not as bitter. Over next to it, as you see, this was very convenient that we had a spring tomato vine that is starting to really take off this fall again, and the Goya helps to wrap around the tomato as it's growing to keep it from falling to the ground. So the plants are working together to survive as best as they can. And over here we have our avocados still going. And you recall we had several different kinds of plants here in the spring and the summer, but now I've cleaned it out, and we're starting new with broccoli, and some of last year's celery is still here. It's perennial, and some bok choy in the back instead of the front this time. And if you look over here to the side, you'll see some other greens that have never been here before. We were rotating with turnips and carrots last year, and some varieties of kale and collards. Our Japanese eggplant is still doing quite well from the spring. And if you come over here in this bed, the new addition in the late summer, I planted an orange tree. I think it's a Satsuma orange that I got as a cutting from a friend of mine 3 years ago, about this big. And after a couple of years in a pot, I decided to go ahead and put it in the ground. It's been very productive, and it's grown so much this summer. Here we have the Japanese basil. You've seen it before, also known as shiso, but now it's really in its later stages for the year. In the summer, I told you how you can make a refreshing drink with the shiso leaves, but what you can also do is you can take the seeds from the seed pods and mix them with salt and put them in the refrigerator and make kind of a preserve with them, and you can add it to a variety of dishes as a condiment, and very healthy and tasty as well. You'll see here some types of squash. We have, this is a red variety that I'm hoping to see. It's in a red ball shape. And then here we have what was this called again?
Butternut squash.
Oh yeah, the butternut squash. I always forget. And from last year, it's starting to fade right now. And if you look below, we have something called Okinawan spinach. We were very lucky to find this in Houston. At a Vietnamese nursery, otherwise very difficult to find. It's been quite productive and very tasty. In this bed here, we're going to plant carrots very soon, probably atomic red. This bed is a fallow bed, not doing anything with it just yet, but we have last year's kale and collard with violets in there as fallow fodder. Remember last time we had planted potatoes in this bed, but I told you we were going to plant daikon radish, the big Japanese radish. Well, here they are, and you'll notice that they're doing quite well after about 3 weeks of being sown. We're going to thin them out soon, and as you thin them out, something you can do is eat the leaves in a salad and add some salt to them, and you can have them raw. And over here we had the cucumber from last year, and we had onions in the back. This year we're going to have onions in the front, and we're going to put some seeds here from our different plants that we've collected of green vegetables, leafy vegetables, and see if they're going to grow. We'll experiment with those. Something of a DIY, do-it-yourself, is we have more beans back here that we grew instead of with stakes. I got these barbecue grills and I nailed them into the wood here, and thought that was a fun thing to do with them. Oh yeah, and here is the radish that we just picked today. And so, like I said, radish leaves, you can add some salt to them when you thin them, and quite tasty by themselves or with a salad. We've just planted more carrots here, carrot seeds, as well as some lettuce seeds over there. You can't really see them at the moment, they haven't come up. But we're very excited here that next to the herbs, we planted a climbing spinach. And we tried one a couple years ago. It didn't grow, but this seems to be a great location. We've had it here just for a month, and you cut the leaves and eat them as you wish. So that does it today for our garden adventure, and so we hope to see you sooner rather than later, since in the fall there's so much happening. We'll probably see you in middle or end of November rather than December or January. So hope to see you soon, and happy gardening. Hi, Coco.